Okay, for so many of us, it's the first thing we do. You roll out of bed and you reach for that cup of coffee, that energy drink. We're all chasing that jolt. But what if I told you it's all a lie? What if that coffee isn't giving you energy, but actually stealing it?
Just think about that for a second. That feeling isn't a gift. It's more like a high-interest loan you're taking out from tomorrow's energy reserves. And trust me, the bill always comes due.
So how does this actually work? How does caffeine manage to fool our brains so perfectly, every single day? Well, it turns out it's a master of disguise, and it's pulling off one of the biggest deceptions on the planet.
Let's call it what it is, the great energy heist. And right now, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how this chemical con artist gets away with it.
Now this heist, it doesn't go down in some bank vault. Nope, the target is right here, inside your own head. And to get how the con works, we first have to understand the target. We have to understand your brain.
So, let's meet the main player in this whole story. It's a little molecule called adenosine. Think of it as your brain's natural, built-in sleep switch, and it is the absolute key to understanding everything.
Here's the deal with adenosine. From the very second you wake up in the morning, your brain starts producing it, and it just keeps building up and building up all day long. The more adenosine you have, the more sleep pressure you feel. It's basically your body's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, it's time to rest. Okay, here's an easy way to picture it. Imagine you've got a sleep tank in your brain, and every single hour you're awake, more and more adenosine drips into that tank, filling it up.
So, let's say it's 8 a.m. You just woke up from a good night's sleep. Your tank is totally empty. You feel awesome, you feel alert, and your sleep pressure is basically at zero.
Fast forward to the afternoon, that tank, oh yeah, it's starting to get full. We've all been there, right? That classic 3 p.m. slump. That's the sleep pressure building telling your brain, hey, we've been going hard, maybe it's time for a little break.
And by the end of the day, say 11 p.m., that tank is overflowing. Sleep pressure is at its absolute maximum. Your brain is getting the super loud, impossible to ignore signal that it is time to shut down and recharge.
Okay, so that's how things are supposed to work. It's a beautiful, natural system. But now, let's introduce the villain to our story, caffeine. This is where the heist really begins.
So check this out. Normally, all that adenosine that's been building up plugs into these special receptors in your brain, kind of like a key going into a lock. And that's what makes you feel tired. But caffeine is a sneaky little imposter. It looks almost identical to adenosine, so it swoops in and blocks those receptors. It's like putting gum in the keyhole. The adenosine is still there floating around, but it can't deliver its sleepy message. So you see, caffeine doesn't create any new energy, it just puts a blindfold on the part of your brain that feels tired.
So what about that buzz you feel, that rush? Well, if it's not energy, what is it? It's actually a side effect. With all your tired signals being blocked, your brain's other alert systems like dopamine and adrenaline start going wild. That rush is really just a low-grade fight-or-flight stress response. You're not actually energized, you're just wired.
But you know how it is with any heist, right? Eventually, you gotta pay the price. That blindfold doesn't stay on forever. And all that adenosine you've been ignoring, it doesn't just vanish into thin air.
See, while caffeine is busy blocking everything, your sleep tank just keeps on filling up in the background. So what happens when the caffeine finally wears off? The floodgates open. Bam! All of that adenosine you built up hits your brain all at once. And that is the crash.
And that's the bottom line, really. You're not beating tiredness. You're just kicking the can down the road. And when it comes back with a vengeance. Every coffee you drink is just another loan you're taking out against your future self.
And it gets worse. Your brain is smart, right? It knows its signals are being blocked. So what does it do? It starts building more adenosine receptors to try and get the message through. And this is what we call tolerance. Pretty soon that one cup of coffee doesn't feel great anymore. It just gets you back to feeling normal. To get that original great feeling again, well, now you need 2 cups. And just like that, you're caught in a dependency trap.
And get this, the half-life of caffeine is about 5 to 6 hours. Think about what that means. That coffee you had at 3 p.m., half of it is still active in your system when you're trying to go to bed at night, still blocking those crucial sleep receptors.
So even if you do manage to fall asleep, that leftover caffeine messes with the most important part of sleep, your deep sleep. It literally stops your brain from doing its nightly cleaning and repair work. And this creates a really vicious cycle, right? You get bad sleep, so you wake up feeling tired, so what do? You reach for more caffeine,
which just leads to even worse sleep. So what is the real solution here? It's not about finding a stronger stimulant. It's about getting out of the borrowing business entirely and starting to actually create real sustainable energy. This is the choice we all have every single day. We can keep slapping on a temporary patch with stimulants and just borrow energy from tomorrow, or we can tap into the single most powerful performance-enhancing tool known to humankind, a good night's sleep.
Because here's the absolute truth of it. Nothing else works. Only during deep sleep can your brain actually run its cleaning cycle, flushing out all that adenosine and resetting your sleep tank to empty for the next day. It is the only way to truly create energy.
So, the next time you feel that afternoon slump coming on and you think about reaching for another coffee, just remember what's really happening. Are you going to take out another short-term loan that just puts you deeper into energy debt? Or are you going to make a long-term investment in yourself? The choice is all yours.